Mexico, just over the border from Texas. We have a map here for you. The FBI says that gunmen opened fire on the group's minivan and then dragged them out of that vehicle and put them into another vehicle. The Bureau is offering $50,000 in reward money at this point to bring these Americans home. Obviously, there are a lot of question marks about what happened here in Matamoros, which is just across the border from Brownsville, Texas. Senior national correspondent William Lajeunesse has the very latest in this breaking story for us from Los Angeles. Hi, William.
Well, Martha, with spring break right around the corner, U.S. tourism being what it is to their revenue, this is going to cost Mexico. And the details of the kidnapping are just coming in, so here's what we know. So it was on Friday. 4 Americans in that white van with North Carolina plates cross into Matamoros from Brownsville, Mexican state of Tamaulipas. They may have blown through a cartel checkpoint, which is something you don't do. There's a shootout with dozens of rounds. You may have seen earlier, just in that video, a body being dragged and thrown into the back of there, along with a female, into the back of the pickup truck. So this did happen really not far from the port of entry between Brownsville and Matamoros, which is in the Mexican state of Tamaulipas. Now, President Obrador said this morning that these Americans who crossed into Mexico were there to buy medicine. There was a confrontation between groups, he said, and they were detained.
We're standing ready to provide all appropriate consular assistance. We do also remind Americans about the existing travel guidance when it comes to this particular part of Mexico. The travel advisory for Tamaulipas state remains at level 4. Do not travel. We encourage Americans to heed that advice.
So in Tamaulipas, you know, there's basically 3 cartels that are fighting it out. It used to be the Gulf Cartel. They own that. Now the Zetas and the New Jalisco Generation Cartel are there smuggling, or rather fighting for human and drug smuggling routes. It is one of 6 Mexican states already on the State Department's do not travel list. 7 other states, it says, think twice about it. Out of 32 Mexican states, only 2 are considered safe from homicide, kidnapping, carjacking, and robbery.
The significant amount of violence, the crime in Mexico, the kidnappings, the threats to personal safety, this has become endemic across that nation. In the vast majority of their states, there are significant threats of violence to civilians, individuals, and foreigners, in particular Americans.
So right now, the FBI is telling us very little about what officially can happen or what we are told from sources. They blew through this checkpoint. A car chase ensued, and that's when the shooting took place. Now, was this a case of mistaken identity? We heard, but it says one thing: if you're going down to Mexico, either you stay in the tourism zone or you don't go at all. But be careful, don't go out at night. All those warnings. This seems to underscore that point. Martha?
Boy, it sure does. And we don't know the ages of these individuals, William, or what they were doing there at this point, right?
Well, right. So AMLO says it's they're here to buy medicine, okay? We don't know if the car was stolen. We don't know if the North Carolina plates were legitimate or not, who these individuals are. Hopefully we'll get more later.
All right. William Lajeunesse, as always, thank you very much. Sure. So here's another story for you at this violent protest that happened over the weekend. It got a ton of attention at the site of a future